What have you got in here? Oh my God! This isn't the same as the photograph that we sent you.
What was very heartening for me was I talked to Dickie, and a couple of days before, he's getting all very defensive about the production crew there, saying, well, they're really nice people, the most wonderful people, and they're trying really hard. From really this nightmare scenario 3 days before, then it ended out to be a pretty cracking show.
It's safe. It's nice, you can't listen. I haven't been out much due to the fact someone said I might get kidnapped.
A good gig in the end. Thought it was going to be one of the worst and a bit of a nightmare, but it's turned out all right. Tower's still standing, set's still standing. It was all pretty good, nice easy day.
Yeah, good gig. Went really well actually. Got the full show up, all the drapes. The only thing that was missing was probably the CO2 effect. They just brought us the wrong stuff basically. But yeah, we're all a bit tired and we're heading off to Bali next for our second Indonesian show. So, and we're getting bitten by mosquitoes. Nighty night.
Playing in Bali was absolutely tremendous, and the feeling that they generated, a beautiful culture, beautiful nation of people there. So it really had a kind of spiritual feel about that show.
It's definitely unusual here. We don't usually play quarries, but as you can see, we've got really high walls here, so it's actually like playing in a cardboard box without a roof on top of it. So what we try to do is aim the PA so that it doesn't bounce off the walls too much, because as you can see, what's going to happen, the sound hits that wall, and it hits that wall, and it hits that wall, and then comes back at us.
I mixed the audio for Iron Maiden since December '79 for the public. I mixed the out front, they call it front of house sound. I mix for what the audience hears. From here, I can make it sound real good, but I can't say what's happening up in that corner of the room or that part of the ballpark or whatever. So it's Mike's job to make sure that what I'm doing here gets to all the people.
Expectations for sound these days are a lot higher. The sound systems are much, much better, and I think the audience, they listen to the sound all the time now on CDs. 10, 15 years ago was a different story. If you sat at the back of one of these places, you didn't really expect to hear it quite so well. So here we have the actual main PA system. We have two hangs per side for this system. One covers the main front part of the audience. Now another hang exactly the same size covers the outer part of the audience. So we have 4 delay speakers. Now where we're standing here, we're probably something like 80 to 90 metres from the PA. If you were seeing the band in a normal big arena, sports arena, you'd be at the very back at this position. If you look up to the back here, we've probably got about another 100 metres of throw to the very back. So what we do is we put in another set of speakers. We have two sets here that cover the very back of the arena, and then we have speakers at the side that cover the very top sides of the arena. Obviously there's big distances between all the different speakers, so the first job is to ensure that all those speakers are all lined up. The sound from every speaker reaches the audience at exactly the same time. Then once I have it aligned, my job's to tune the system and make the system itself sound good for the room, so that when we then put the mix through it, it hopefully then sounds good and we get a good interpretation of Doug's mix to every seat in the house.
While Mike is doing his time alignment, I'm typically on stage putting the mics on the drum kit, the back line, that sort of stuff, doing that wiring up thing. Backline guys will make some noise from each of their guys' rigs, you know, guitars, bang boom on the drums, Mike plays the keyboards and that, to where they're all happy with their equipment. Then we do a full-on sound check, do my last little tweakette until it's actually as close as I can get, barring not having an audience in the room or in the field, for Iron Maiden readiness.
Seven shows in Australia. It's like a mini tour. We've taken on an Aussie crew, we've got our own lighting crew, we've got our own sound crew, we've got our own trucks for the next 7 shows, which is going to be really nice. It's going to be like more like the regular touring like we do in the US and Europe. We'll still be using the plane, the crew will be travelling on the plane, but all our equipment will be in the trucks.
I'll tell you the biggest problem I have right now is we're not putting equipment in the plane, so that means we all have to sit in the back of the plane for takeoff because there's not enough weight. That's my biggest logistical problem. I've got 3 48-foot trucks. We carry our set in 1.5 of them. We carry extra lighting in the other half, and then we carry our backline and monitors in front of house in the third one. It's pretty much a breeze to load in and out. We flew over our set, our rolling set, because we need to get out of the way on a festival situation so other bands can play in front of us.
As you can see, we're having fun with our own stage set. But when we were back in Norfolk all those months ago, loading a sea container with a stage set, well, this is it in Australia, and we're using this throughout this leg, and it saves people building one for us, which is very nice.
So much easier. It has wheels for a start. And all the backline can live in it, all the cabs and all the decorations, everything can all live in there.
We're getting in here early so we can get the set here and work out how it's all going to fit in with everyone else. We got Sydney, the festival tomorrow. We don't get there till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The doors are already open, the show's already started, so we need to build our set behind a backdrop, and it's just Bill's job and the local stage manager's Dougal's to keep it organised, because really, really quickly it could turn into a complete cluster.
Festival's a festival at the end of the day. It's one of those days where you can do so much and you have to wait for all the bands to get off stage, and then you hope and pray that everything's working fine, because you haven't had that much time during the day, because obviously you haven't had the stage. Because everybody else has been on there, you just hope and pray everything's working.
We're trying to make some noise by 6 o'clock, so I've only got about an hour and 10 minutes to get it all going for Doug.
This whole last bit of the tour has been pretty elastic. Doing, say, festivals, for example, we do a back-to-back festival, we might not get there until, I don't know, 10:30, 11 in the morning, and the doors are at 2. So it's like panic. What comes off the truck first, whatever it is, go ahead and set that up.
Obviously, it's not just about ourselves today, there's an awful lot of other bands on, so it's going to be a real tough one. We could probably be here for another 10, 12 hours overnight tonight just to get this stuff built. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, just waiting for these lights to go up, and then we'll bring the carts in, try and get the set built as much as we can tonight. And now this is the fun part of festivals, where we have to take certain bits of it apart and move it for the other bands to get on and off. Luckily, on this one, we're hoping we can leave the riser and the 2 backline carts.
The next problem that's created because of this is normally when we would roll these carts on, we'd have room here. But obviously today we haven't with the structure. So where the guitar amps would live here, Sean Brady's world looks after Adrian Smith, that cart's going to come crashing straight through it. So we've got to make sure that we let everybody know, because they're going to build all their world tomorrow while we're not here. That's the thing we do in festivals. Every day we have to change a plot. Every day there's a new problem.
Here we are at Soundwave, the first day, Brisbane, 47,500, sold out a while ago. A lot of great bands. We're going to play a whole load of people we haven't played to before. We've only played Brisbane once in the last 20 odd years. That was the last time we did about 12,000 people. So there's got to be bigger than the Travellers. 30,000 I haven't seen us before, so it's going to be interesting, it's going to be fun. It's always good to play to a new audience because it makes them work hard to get them into the family. Makes expecting a really good day.
The event's going really well. With Maiden this year, it's the biggest one we've ever had.
When we were in the planning stage about a year or so ago, we knew that we were going to be in Australia around this time of year. I suggested to management that perhaps we should look at playing the festivals rather than do our own arena shows here.
Maiden's definitely the biggest act we've had on the bill. We had to increase the size of our stages this year to accommodate them. Start working on this probably about June each year, slowly building up as the year goes on. We're going to move 70 bands, 8 stages overnight. We have 2 sets of production, 2 sets of light, sound, video, staging which leapfrog themselves around the country.
I'm just a mere pawn in the whole organisation.